And boom, we are live. Welcome, folks, to the American Movie Podcast. If you've never been here before, welcome aboard. I go through movies, news, documentaries, Netflix series, Netflix originals, and today I'm going over Kingdom. And this is episode 4 of Kingdom. It's season 2, so there's going to be a boatload of spoilers. So if you haven't seen any part of Kingdom, get out of here. So if you want to start your own podcast, make sure you get down in the description. I got 2 free guides and a free video in order for you to start your own podcast. It'll get you in the right direction, everything you'll need to know in order to start your own podcast. So check that out if that sounds interesting. Now, episode 4, it's getting crazy, folks. Kingdom is, it's falling apart, basically. So we start off, we get to see a little bit more of Mu Young before he passes, and the interaction between Prince Chang and Mu Young, and how the mercy that Prince Chang has shown Mu Young in helping his wife, basically. He's being supported by his wife, and then his wife actually needs his help at this point in juncture, and he can't provide it, and then Chang sees that, and he actually shows a lot of mercy. So then that connection intertwined goes along, and then so they go to investigate more of the queen's original province, where her actual estate is at, not where her birthing chamber is. So they go investigate. They realize that all of these women were pregnant and they have been killed. So they understand that the queen is looking for a son, and so they have inclinations. They just need a little bit more proof. So Prince Chang is looking for the physician, COB. So she and him set up a plan, and so she goes into the queen's quarters, and she talks with one of the now official leader of the royal commandery, but he gets him in, or she gets him in. He gets her in, sorry. And then they delegate, and she dismisses her, basically. And we don't see her until the end of the episode. Now, Cho enters the officials' palace, and they're talking about how the queen potentially lost her heir and has faked a birth, basically, in a fake phony baby, basically. And so now Cho has inclinations as well, so he confronts the queen, and now he's interacting with her. And this is one of my favorite scenes because there's so much tension and there's so much at play, and the queen is just acting whimsically. She's just very upbeat, happy. She's like, here's my little prince, here's these things. And that dynamic was very, very interesting. And Cho was having none of it. He was very stoic. He was very stern and terse with his interactions. He brought the physician there and has her feel her pulse. And so she feels the pulse, and the physician says there's no possible way that she has just had a baby, because the pulse does not represent afterbirth or post child birthing, So Cho is like, are you certain? I'm certain. So Cho is like, how dare you do this? How dare you lie and deface our entire family and our legacy, and you're going to try and fool everybody. Well, the queen had poisoned his drink, and he dies like a horrible death. And I have the subtitles on when I'm watching it, and it says he's wretched. And I was like, that is such a great word for this scene, because it was a ghastly death, and it was just horrible to watch. But so all this is going on, and the physician actually understands that the plague was derived. This is one of the most important episodes, that the plague is actually derived from the flower, but there are eggs on the flower, and those eggs are the nascent stages of worms, and those worms are the virus or the vector that is causing these heinous acts of these people that catch this disease. So now she has the understanding, and that is actually how she saved Cho. She has the understanding of how to beat this plague, and she's still trying to figure out a potentiality for saving the entire province or the entire region of Korea itself. But she has ideas, and so there's a lot of stuff going on right now. So where I don't think there's a lot more coming, and I think Prince Chang has set up the physician in a perfect spot. He knows that the queen is going to either hold her captive or something along those lines. So I think the half of the plan is working swimmingly. Pun not really intended, but the worms swim. And so the physician is down in the dungeon at the very end of this. So I think half the plan is going on right now. And Chang is actually reaching out to distant relatives to actually get help, because they have to go to the set piece where it's going to be the decapitation and the entire killing of lineage of whoever betrayed the queen and the royalty. So there's going to be this humongous piece, and I think it's going to be in the last episode, where they're about ready to behead everybody. Wives, daughters, sons, mothers, brothers, all the lineage that is related to the guard that investigated the queen, that did all of these things. And I think this is where the plan is going to be come to a climax. And so the physician, I think, is going to play an important tactic. I think she's going to somehow self-sabotage the queen's directions and fix this so it actually attacks the queen's guards rather than all of the people. Because I believe that all of the dangerous guards, or all of the guards of the queen serving, will be ground level, and somehow they're going to protect the other people. But that's what I see happening, and I love Kingdom. It's such a good series. It's one of the best series, let alone zombie series, that's on Netflix, that's available. It's so cool. It's great, and it's got depth to it. So it's really elaborate, and it's really fun, but also accessible at the same time. And I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything else. Yeah, so I think the plan's just beginning, basically, with the prince. Yeah, and so at the very, very end, I just want to hit upon this too, is that the queen is talking about using this plague just as her father incited, because the plague was actually derived as a military tactic, and it was going to be used against the Japanese. And so she sees the potential just as her father did, and I think she's going to use this somehow, either militarize it or somehow erase the people that are going to get in her way of pure tyrannical power. So I'm looking forward to it. And the queen is one of the scariest people, and she's very, very good at acting. The actress of this is outstanding. She's very, very good. And it's just maniacal and megalomaniac, basically. And it's really, really fun to watch. And I'm looking forward to episode 5. Let me know what you thought of episode 4 in the comment section down below. Do not forget to subscribe. A lot of good stuff to come. I'm going to review episode 5, 6, and then the entirety of the season. And I've got a few guests coming on that are actually really into South Korea's media and all of their films and all of their series. So I'm going to have her on soon. So look out for that too. So make sure you subscribe and don't miss that. I'll let you know on social media and everything like that when that's up and coming as well. So until next time, this has been Matthew Benjamin with the American Movie Podcast. Thank you so much, folks. Until next time, bye.